Good day, and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the INT Trunks and Giru unit. So this is a general banner unit. You can obviously get them via summons on any banner, and they're a GT Hero support based unit. Now, they are a double orb changer, they're a bond of friendship lead, and in general, they do have a very interesting kit. I think the big issue with these guys compared to, say, some of the supports that have come out previously in the past, units like Chase and Berta or Raccoon and Gildo, generally speaking, those units were better catered and better linking with the Captain Ginyu, whereas these guys came out and didn't share a lot of links with Pan, so they didn't really facilitate her too much. But they are a bond of friendship, GT Heroes, Dragon Ball Seekers category support, which is great. They get an additional attack and defense of 120% with 3 or more key spheres, an additional attack and defense of 120%, plus an additional 10% attack, defense, and critical hit for all allies if they obtain 7 or more key spheres in a single turn. Now they change 2 types of orbs to INT key spheres, so them achieving orbs isn't that difficult. Think of them being somewhat similar in design to Ice and Nova Shenron. Essentially they are kind of the same thing, just a bit more support focused. Now, in terms of links, the big focal points in terms of links for these guys is Cold Judgments and Brainiacs. Unfortunately, they're not in a lot of categories. Your best teams for them are going to probably be Dragon Ball Seekers or the GT Heroes team. Now, we can see them in this situation. They've obtained their 7 orbs, so we have their full passive. 234,000 defense. They do not have any support on this rotation, as the Trunks and Goten, I believe, support only Goku or Vegeta's family. So pretty big. 235,000 is pretty good. They don't raise their defense on Super, unfortunately, so that's a little bit of a shame. Now with dupes, these guys can look pretty impressive. Right now, 234k is a decent chunk of defense, but it's not anything wild. Now, of course, they do debuff the opposition. They do have that increased crit chance for allies, and they are providing a lot of support. It's important to mention that they are providing support. It's not just like they, aren't doing anything else. So yeah, they do have that kind of going for them. But you can already feel that at 55%, they're maybe just not there. If they were maybe a bit higher up, if they were at around the 300k mark, then we'd be really kind of cooking with them. But they're just unfortunately not quite there at 55%, but they're pretty solid, fun support. I think GT Heroes has some really good support units. If you take a look here at Trunks, and Giru, you can link them up with quite a few units here. They share Cold Judgments as well with this Goten Gohan unit, and that gives them a bit of support as well. So you've got like a pretty nice mix of units here. We're going to get 8 orbs, which means we're going to get the full range of the passive and 253k defense this time. So again, we're looking pretty good. Remember also Brainiac's a very strong link, one that we could potentially activate, as well as Cold Judgment being a link that levels defense as well. GT also being a pretty strong link to level. So they do have some room to grow. 2.1 million, not too bad, but offensively they're not coming to the table. They're definitely more a utility based unit more than anything else. Now, of course, they do look relatively decent. I think they're a pretty solid banner unit without being overtly spectacular. Some banner units look really good at 55%. Raccoon and Gildo spring to mind as a 55% banner unit that looks great. The AGL Vegeta, the Strength Piccolo from the Cooler movie. These units tend to look really solid at 55%. Whereas these guys maybe don't carry the same gravitas, but they're still pretty fun. Here we can see them on a Dragon Ball Seekers team. They do have the 2-turn buff from Bulma. The 218k, honestly not bad, not too many major links active here. Again, I think it's more that they don't have a succinct linking partner. If they were sharing 5 or 6 links with a unit that wasn't, support Goten Gohan or support Goten and Trunks from the GT Heroes team, then you would start to think maybe they can really start to cook with gas. If they shared quite a few links with Pan, I think that would be good. or maybe with the Dragon Ball Seekers unit. I mean, you can see with all the support, Dragon Ball Seekers unit looks great. 11 million attack stat, very, very solid from that perspective. It's just kind of like, you know what I say, it's just kind of figuring out their place in the team, in the current meta, and just where they can sit. I think at 55%, they maybe just don't have enough gas to really chew up some of the harder content, but they still look pretty good. I mean, 244,000 defense. They have obviously the support from Bulma as well, but 244k. They're providing big support to Krillin and Gohan. So it's a fun little pairing. I think they're a fun unit. I'd love to get like 1 or 2 more dupes in them, link level them, give them a little bit of love and affection, and you could see a pretty cool little support unit here. I think they'd be really cool. I mean, look at Trunks and Krillin look great alongside them. The Dragon Ball Seekers team looks really, really fun with Bulma as the friend lead. All of a sudden, some of these units are starting to look really good, and Krillin and Gohan, they are a very solid unit. So it's not impossible. It's not like they bring nothing to the table. It's just that a bit unfortunately at 55% they maybe don't bring enough, but they're still pretty cool. Speedy Distribution is probably the weakest link set out of it. Cold Judgment, Brainiac's all really good, solid support, fine for sports. GT, Courage, doesn't really matter in Fierce Battle. Courage you're not really going to get. Speedy Retribution, I think only like one main consideration unit being the Goten and Trunks GT heroes or unit. So I think rather focus on things like Cold Judgment, focus on Brainiacs, focus on Fierce Battle, focus on these standard kind of links that you have, and just try and facilitate off of those. Those are the ones that grow from link leveling anyway. Cold Judgment becomes a 25% defensive link. Brainiacs gives you 10% attack and defense. The GT one gives you 10% attack and defense as well. So really just try and consider rather investing in that than going the route of like, oh, we're going to really link level them through X method, or we're going to try and link them up with Speedy Retribution and that. I think rather just focusing on the Cold Judgment, Brainiacs, the main two, GT as well. Obviously they're great on the GT Heroes team, and then of course Fierce Battle just comes along as part of the party. But yeah, I think your best bet is probably to look at focusing either using them on GT Heroes as a floating support, or considering using them on Dragon Ball Seekers. I think they have a cool place on Dragon Ball Seekers. I think with a unit like Gohan and Krillin, who really are benefiting a lot from these buffs to Dragon Ball Seekers as a category, I think it's a really fun combination. Now, unfortunately, they're not a first slot tank, which would have been perfect for Gohan and Krillin, but they're decent. I think they're a good floating support at the end of the day, and I would definitely consider running them in a fair chunk of content. I think you'll get a lot of mileage out of them, and they make the team fun. I mean, they facilitate the team a lot. They're a double orb changer, so they bring a lot to the table. It's not like they just exist or don't do anything. They really do bring a ton of utility. Crit, hit, support, key, orb changing. I mean, you can't really ask for more out of a support. Just might need a dupe or two to make them really, really shine. But yeah, that's basically going to be it from me. Honestly, pretty good unit. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next time. Till then, bye.